Okay, so today's question asks, why is it that in my dreams I'm so much younger than I actually am? I'm not encumbered by having this aging body that can no longer do things like run and jump. In dreams, I can still do everything that I did when I was much younger, and then when I awake, I can barely get out of bed. And I'm wondering why this is. Can you open this up? It's marvelous, isn't it? The kind of creative and imaginal freedom that we have in the dream time that is a kind of gift to us, um, encumbered with the kind of very human bodies with very human limitations that we have being in the world of space and time. The dream time is a kind of ageless realm wherein um, we are deeply in touch with the presence of what it means to be us on the inside. So the running, jumping, unencumbered dreamer is is what it means to be us really on the inside. And if we take Gertrude Stein's notion that we are each of us one age on the inside throughout our lives, she's not really referring to a chronological age so much as she is a kind of ageless age, an eternal aspect that is present really throughout our entire lives. And this eternal aspect that is present throughout our entire lives, it turns out, is a kind of presence, holy presence, um, noble, companioning, holy presence that is trying to put us in touch with the eternal realms, trying to usher us into um, who we are really coming into being. So it, when we can do all those things that we can't do in the waking world in the dream time, it is a kind of gift from the eternal realms, touching us into being, touching who we are really into being through the dream time. Um, and then, of course, we wake up into being in very limited bodies of that are required to bow before the goddess necessity. We can no longer run and jump with our physical bodies, but we can run and jump imaginally. And I think this is the great, great gift, one of the great gifts of the dream time. Okay, so that's my answer. Okay, but there's another little part to this question that I think deserves an answer, or at least a kind of noticing. And that is that these running, jumping, unencumbered, eternal aspects of being are indeed eternal. So that when we lose these bodies, when these bodies that are through which the eternal aspect of being is present at all, when we die, when we lose these actual bodies, it's the running, jumping, unencumbered dreamer which continues to dream, that continues to dream, that is still very, very present in the world as the so-called dead. The so-called dead are those running, jumping, unencumbered, eternal aspects, the holy presences of being that which remain, which are everywhere in the dream time and certainly in the waking world. And one of the things that we can begin to notice about these particular beings is that they take up the same sort of space they took up when they were in fact in bodies. So that's a remarkable thing in the dream time as well as when we encounter them in the waking world. Um, we are encountering them in their eternal aspect, particularized by having been in a specific body, in a specific space and time. That seems to be carried with the so-called dead as a kind of after image of specificity of being. And so I think that there's something that the so-called dead are trying to help us notice about being beings in bodies, but specifically with regard to this eternal aspect, this running, jumping, unencumbered, imaginal, bodied being. Okay? So that's the little part I wanted to add on there at the end.